Tom Curran was handling pre- and post-game with the Patriots, and he joins us, the Patriot Insider for NBC Sports Boston. Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing, Dan?
I'm good.
Hey, it's definitely not Jones.
Are there any words that New Englanders say that, slang that we would go, I don't know what you just said?
Yeah. Hey, is there a bubbler over there? And that means, is there a water fountain nearby?
Oh, okay. A bubbler.
So, a bubbler.
Okay.
Bubbler.
All right.
Yeah, he was running down the hall. He slipped and he hit his face on the bubbler.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Tom. That was really all I needed.
Have a great December.
So handicap the Patriots here, the next 5 games and the possibility of making the playoffs. Then we'll work our way back to what happened last night.
Yeah, I like that approach. Right now on paper, they're going to play games against Las Vegas and Arizona in the next 2 weeks, a little road trip. And they could very well win both of those on paper if they play to the level of their 6-6 record. And then they have on Christmas Eve, the Cincinnati Bengals, who are playing really well, but have been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde themselves this year. So you have a team who could be 9-6 and then close the season at home with Miami and then on the road at Buffalo. And maybe they don't have anything to play for. So conceivably they could be 11-6, but that is an extremely rosy outlook for a Patriots team that just doesn't seem to have the urgency or attention to detail or boldness that it used to have and normally had.
But what is missing here? Who's to blame for the offense?
Bill, because Bill Belichick decided that Josh McDaniels leaving was his cue to revamp the offense, to move away from the very sophisticated and evolved option-based offense where so much happens after the snap to something that's more user-friendly, which took away a lot of what Mac Jones was good at, processing quickly, moving the ball precisely. They also went away from a lot of the gap runs that they had success with. And additionally, in moving away from that, they installed somebody to install it who basically does HVAC and you're asking them to fix your car. It was a bad idea. And that's where the buck stops, is with Bill. And he said at the beginning of the year, well, if it doesn't work with Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, blame me. So here we are.
Who is Mac Jones yelling at on the sidelines?
The world. The world is a vampire. He is yelling at the notion of this timidity that the Patriots have adopted. There was a period at the beginning of the year where they wanted Mac Jones to push it down the field. We're going to be more aggressive. We're going to get chunk plays. That's why we have Devontae Parker. We can't be standing around in a division with Tyreek Hill and Josh Allen and scoring 17 points. We're going to get chunk plays. They play the Ravens. He tries for a bunch of chunk plays. He gets 3 picks and injured. And since then, they have just turned into an armadillo. And you saw it last night. They're afraid of their own shadow in so many different ways. And you see it at the end of the game. And I think that's Mac just saying, look, I'm a pretty good player. We have get this, Dan. They have the highest paid in terms of cap space tight ends in the league. Number 1 in cap space allocated. Third in wide receiver cap space allocated in the league. And then you see that product and you're like, it can't necessarily be all on the players.
That surprises me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I could see the frustration with Mac Jones. It's like, I want to throw it downfield, but who am I throwing it downfield to? It didn't feel like there's separation there where you go, okay, we have, like, who is your playmaker? Jacoby Myers?
He said with a level of disbelief. Yeah. And that's the thing, is they don't have a Hill, a Tyreek Hill, or a Stephon Diggs, or a Justin Jefferson. So what you need to do is beat teams with scheme, which is what Josh McDaniels was always really, really good at doing. You'd see guys running naked and alone because they had schemed something and set something up. Now, they did have Gronk and they did have Edelman, who were individually electric players and could separate. They don't really have any separators right now, so they need to be more on top of things with scheme. And Matt is over his head in trying to do that.
We're talking to Tom Curran, the Patriots insider, NBC Sports Boston. I don't know how these stories get started. I don't know if it's a speculation, rumor, but Tom Brady, hey, maybe we could see him going back to New England. Then all of a sudden it became a story.
Yeah.
It became a headline. It became a report.
It morphed very quickly into a report when it seemed to me as if Jeff Howe from The Athletic was, dot connecting. Brady's contract's up. Patriots, he used to play there. He could go back. Well, to go back, Bill was already kind of greasing the skids to move on from Tom at 36. At 46, he's going to bring him back, admit a mistake, tell Mac Jones to sit down and watch for a year. And then Brady's going to say, well, it was great that you wouldn't give me the money that I asked for a couple of years ago and made me move and uproot my family after I begged you to stay. Worked out great for me, but I'm going to say bygones be bygones. Come back, be under your thumb again, even though I respect you highly, and play with a team with an offensive coordinator who used to be the defensive coordinator and failed with Detroit. To get through that, additionally, to get to the point where Bill says, Mac, go ahead and have a seat, that's a leap, man. That's a leap.
Yeah, I can't imagine if Tom is that desperate to find a team that wants to employ him after this year, because that would be, there's no reason for him to go, gosh, let's go to New England. I can take advantage of that offense. Randy Moss isn't there anymore. There'd be no reason to go up there, and it's not any farewell tour. Doesn't strike me as either one of those guys are, interested in that.
Yeah, I think the high level of respect that you're seeing from each guy and the appreciation and the love that they have for each other that was very well veiled for the last 6 or 7 years here is an outgrowth of, the success that you guys had together. So it's more likely, Dan, sorry to hem and haw, but if you look at the Vegas situation, there's about a $40 million, if I'm not mistaken, guarantee that has to go to Derek Carr soon after the season ends. Is he the answer there? Is he a guy who plays with kind of the attitude and aggressiveness that Josh McDaniels wants and the accuracy? Or would Brady be a better fit there?
Yes.
And if he's looking for landing spots, a place with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams to jettison from there out to the Bay Area, it would seem like an easier dot to connect.
I'll leave you with this since you just saw the Buffalo Bills. The team to beat in the AFC East is?
The Buffalo Bills. And I would have said that before Miami, because the Bills are just going through a little bit of a rough patch, but they are just so unbelievable at quarterback.
You're not buying into the Dolphins.
I am. I think they're a very good team, and all the credit in the world to Mike McDaniel and what he's done in making that team in his vision. But I just watch Tua sometimes, and as much as he's done this year, and credit to him, I just don't think that he's a transcendent player. Maybe he will be, but I don't think he is there yet. And I think that Josh Allen is.
If I said Bills or Chiefs?
Chiefs. Has to be the Chiefs, Dan. I hate to go with the chalk. It's boring as hell, but it's the Chiefs, my friend.
Yeah. Always great to talk to you. Have a great weekend.
Do you think Bill Belichick is going to be in New England for as long as he wants? From the outside perspective, that's my question for you.
How long does he want?
Till he says, I'm all set. Say 75. No, that's a long time. Say the end of Mac Jones' contract. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He gets the Shula record by the end of next year or early 2024.
I'll go back to what Brett Musburger told me about Joe Paterno. There are certain coaches who coach until they die. That's all they know. It could be health issues, but they coach until they die. Is Belichick a coach until he dies kind of guy?
I don't think so. I think he really likes the travel that he engages in, being on Nantucket, being around his grandkids and his kids. I don't think he's a coach until he dies guy. I think he's a coach for your place in history and to cement yourself at the top of, the Olympus of coaches. I think he is that guy. So he is now 21 behind?
Yeah.
Don Shula. So
I don't know if you could say, travel and then you go for a guy in New England going to Nantucket. I mean, that's a 45-minute ferry ride. He's not going to Nepal.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to Nepal.
No, you're going to Nantucket. Like I travel a lot. Really? Where do you go? 45-minute ferry ride. I go to Nantucket.
We're going to Braintree.
Yeah. I'm going to Fall River. Man, you better pack for a while. You're going to be gone. Tom, great to talk to you.
All right. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Tom. That's Tom Curran, the Patriots insider, NBC Sports Boston. Made it seem like, he's Magellan going around the globe. Amerigo Vespucci or whatever his name is.